Live from the Punisher's dank basement,
Ooh.
it's the Geek Show.
I wondered why it was such a mess down here.
Well, you know.
Come on, Frank, clean things up. That's the first thing I would have said if I were Matt. Anyway, let's get on with this. Let's go. Hi everybody.
Hello.
Oh, everyone looks so good.
I just thought one thing about that whole exchange between Frank and Matt.
Yeah.
Just kiss.
I know, right?
I freaking loved that scene. I thought that scene was so good.
We'll get to that coming up in the things we consumed segment of the program. He wants them to kiss. He's Lee George Cade, everybody.
Yeah. As I stated yesterday on Blue Sky, I realized that all my Tony Orlando and Dawn content is going way over everybody's heads, so I'm doubling down on it.
We'll tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, Lee.
Yeah, because it's just one of those things. It's like this week it's Tony Orlando and Dawn. Next week probably going down the Captain and Tennille rabbit hole.
Well, love will keep us together.
Yeah. It's important that I keep this alive so that future generations can hate them as much as I do.
I will knock 3 times on the ceiling. Just for you. Rebecca doesn't
Jerry.
seem to know what we're talking about. So Rebecca Frost, everybody.
I'm just a girl. You guys, yesterday was a day of emotional whiplash for me because I thought American Dad was going away forever, but it's not going away forever. It's just moving from TBS to Fox.
I saw those articles and I thought of you immediately.
I thought I was going to throw up.
I'm gonna take credit for saving it. That's the kind of guy I am.
Thanks.
I wonder, do you think that's a Disney thing? Do you think it's because they own that now? They want all the toys in the
Probably,
sandbox?
yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
So this way you get
TBS
the
probably
American
didn't
Dad.
shell out the money, and they said, okay, we'll take it back then.
Yeah, get the American Dad and Doctor Who crossover now.
Well, he's looking forward to seeing Roger the Alien at Disneyland someday. Rob is here. Robert Neal.
Good morning, everybody.
And, Quad T, Too Tall Tony is here.
Hey. Yep.
And,
Tony, what are your thoughts on American Dad moving to Fox from TBS?
I didn't even know what was happening.
Oh my God.
and returning champion, resident supervillain, Jay Washington, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Haven't seen you in a while, Jay.
I know
Been a minute.
it's been a while, and it's early here. It's 10:30 in the morning.
Well, I was going to say, you've been out grinding, so that's why we never see you.
Yeah, I'm working my behind off and then some. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm running to the gym. So, like, I got to go get a workout in and all that stuff. And American Dad is, here's the thing, Seth MacFarlane wants to quit, and they won't let him.
Exactly.
They won't let him.
That's
He
fine.
wants to be done.
So he wants to quit, and they just back up the money truck. I try to quit a job, and they're like, "Thanks."
But here's a
Oh,
question,
darn.
though. Because Disney now owns Fox, right? They own the Orville, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well,
The
let's
thing
hope they
I'm most
do
excited
something with it.
about is because American Dad was on TBS, I had to wait for months before American Dad would get to Hulu after
Yep.
new episodes had aired. But now that it's going back to Fox, I'm sure
be
it's the
same
next
day.
day.
Yeah,
It's the next day.
Next day. She's very excited, Rebecca Frost.
It's a good day for me.
Our American Dad stand, indeed. All right, let's...
All I know real quick is I need a Stan Smith album collection. I mean not Stan, Steve. Every song Steve has ever sung, I want it on an album because
It
Steve be
exists.
killing it.
It
Steve be
exists.
killing it.
He's got a beautiful voice, doesn't he? All right.
Well, I saw the prophecy that someday one of my future hospitalizations, American Dad will be on, and I will laugh. The prophecy.
Someday.
I will laugh. I will laugh, and I will immediately text Rebecca and say I laughed, and then I will
It
die.
happened.
They did a great War Games parody just recently on their
Oh man!
thing. Yeah, it was fun. All right, let's begin, shall we? Ballerina. The trailer is out. And yes, John Wick is in it. It is...
How much, though? I wonder.
a little bit. I mean,
He
it's
doesn't
her
need to
movie.
be in it a lot. He doesn't
Look,
need to
his
be in it a lot. Just
his only weakness is long flights of ancient stairs.
That's true. But this one takes place between John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, and John Wick Chapter 4.
Oh, so it's kind of a prequel-ish a little bit.
Prequel to John Wick Chapter 4. But
Okay.
it stars, of course, Ana de Armas, who is kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah.
Ana de Kick Ass is her name. Go and watch this trailer. We'd show it to you, but we keep getting kicked off of YouTube, so...
It's okay. Look, we're getting 10 new subscribers a year. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where we're almost too big to kick off.
Good.
Too big to fail.
Yeah.
There you go. But everybody's in it. She's, looking for the man who killed her father, and she's going to use
Norman Reedus.
I know, right?
Oh.
She's going to use a flamethrower to find out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ian McShane is there. Lance Reddick is there.
Oh,
Oh, they filmed his stuff before he passed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have been making this movie for a
while.
long
Yeah.
time.
I
It's
guess.
been- it's
Wow.
been-
Trout.
in and out of production and on the shelf and off the shelf. And anyway, but we're going to see it on June 6th.
Lance Reddick's going to be like the Kevin Conroy of cameos. Like 10 years
just
after
keeps
he passes.
popping up.
Like, well, we found more Lance Reddick.
Just gonna
I'm
keep
for it. He's one of my favorites.
another Baltimore guy. That's all I'm saying.
more. But go watch this trailer. It's she is amazing. She just kicks all of the ass, and I'd be
The John Wick experience in Vegas is now open as well.
yes, which is apparently
If you
the
guys
lobby
wanna
of the Hotel Continental, but you can't kill anybody with a pencil in it. That's the sad thing.
Well,
That's
So
don't-
why I
pencil
get there.
trace. Damn it.
you don't want to break the amnesty.
Yeah, them's the rules.
So
Yeah.
from one extreme to the other trailer that we got this week was Elio.
Kid's got a colander on his head. What a
This is-
dork.
No, this is the little kid that takes a page from all of us. He is a little kid who just wants to be taken away by aliens.
I don't
Been
want
there.
to be taken away by aliens.
I mean, that was me 20 minutes ago, but
Rebecca, you have a show about shows in space. Really?
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go of my own free will. I don't want to be
Okay.
abducted.
Fair.
Well, that's what this kid does. Is he goes out and lays in fields hoping to be abducted by aliens, and then
Oh, it's the Peter Quill analogy. Got it.
Yeah.
except he.
but I don't
wants
think
to
Quill didn't. Yeah, Quill didn't want to be abducted.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that is
fair.
true.
Well,
It's
from
all
what I
about
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
consent,
I'm
guys.
sorry. Not Peter. No, sorry. Wrong Star Lord. T'Challa. Because he was just like, yeah, I'll go. That's good.
Oh, okay. But this is, from what I could gather, it looks like his mother, who is Zoe Saldana in the movie, works for the Air Force and has access to this kind of tech or something like that. And anyway, he gets taken by aliens and makes friends. Like his mother kept telling him, you need to make a friend, and he makes a friend that just happens to be an alien
Not like that.
that can open up his mouth so wide that Elio can crawl inside, and the alien's body, I guess, can take lava. He can go into a volcano.
Nigh
You
invulnerable.
know, Victor
I don't like
Frankenstein's mom told me he needed to make a friend too.
Exactly. And look what happened.
And he did. She didn't like him, though.
But this
Or he
looks,
didn't like him.
this looks charming and fun, and I'm sure it'll make you cry somehow. And
Has this movie been on the shelf for a couple of years? Because this premise sounds like I've heard it like 2 or so years ago.
they've been working on it a while. Yeah.
Okay.
June 13th.
There's been discussion that I've seen surrounding like the animation style that Pixar has been heading in the direction towards.
Yep.
And Pixar used to be very creative with their character design and very different and innovative. And for the last few years, they've really just been leaning in this round, soft.
They're very paint by
character
numbers.
design.
They're very
Very
paint
paint by
by numbers.
Yeah.
They're very paint by numbers now.
All right.
And
Not everything can be inside out, Rebecca.
no, but like remember the Incredibles and remember the character design for the Incredibles.
No, I do.
Why can't we
I
get
do.
back
Good.
to something like that?
Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
Woke. It's because of woke.
It's
Yeah, it's
because
'cause
of
of
woke.
Yep.
All right.
Once again.
I can't have moms with thick asses because of woke.
Dang it.
I want more Miss Incredible ass. That's
the
what.
Where's Mrs. Incredible? Come on.
Bring it. All right, let's quickly do some housekeeping here. Of course, geekshowgotthiscovered.com is our Patreon. You can go there, and it's tree fitty, and you get the after party afterward. That's exclusive to you if you're a member. I'm gonna make some more videos this week, some more time closet videos, and a bunch of stuff. And I think Lee's getting some stuff together for it as well, aren't you? Some miniatures or games or some? No? Okay, never mind.
I mean, I want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's that, and go to geekshow.store for our merch. Now, it doesn't say there, but the Fashion Doll shirt and the flags are on clearance. So when you put them in your cart, they're discounted because we're not going to have those anymore, and we got more stuff coming. So go and pick it up before it's too late.
So, Carrie, I want to make stuff. It's just for now, 12 hours a day, I'm hooked up to a giant bag of goo.
Ah, okay. All right.
So my creative time is limited.
Because they're woke.
Because of woke.
Ah, woke. Ah.
Woke in this case meaning him staying awake.
And
alive. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue. When last we heard from Sgt. Rock, it was Daniel Craig. But now...
We getting Penguin Rock?
Penguin Rock. Possibly.
Guys, Sgt. Rock out looking for his Lucky Charms.
All-American military soldier played by Irish actor Colin Farrell. Okay.
No. You missed us the last time you missed us the last time this came up because it was like Daniel Craig. So we're getting James Bond to Sgt. Rock, but we have American Superman played by British guy. I'm just like, come on, guys, can't we just find somebody?
Technically, Superman, is he technically American?
Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right.
Farrell,
I will grant that argument.
Colin Farrell's not Irish. That's just something he did to get jobs. It's a fake accent.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He just walked in. He's like, gee, and they're like, oh yeah, obviously an Irishman. Give him a job. Not enough jobs for the Irish.
Penguin Rock is the long forgotten Elton John B-side.
Yeah,
it was the sequel to Crocodile Rock.
This is just a scheme he and Bono cooked up to get famous.
Well, I have the audio of his audition for this. If you'd like to hear it,
There it
is.
That's racist.
No,
I'm Irish.
It's not.
He's Irish.
It's culturalist, but it is not racist.
I just
Pick
don't
the
know
hell of
how
a day
this
to
is
join, Jay.
Man,
I got a list of people that white people can make fun of, and Irish is right on there. It's not nice, but it's allowed.
British.
copy that.
Those are my
Irish.
people.
Basically, like that whole island area.
Ireland is a separate island.
Area, I said.
That region.
But yeah, it's not finalized yet. He hasn't signed a contract, but they're talking. So, yeah, anyway, it'll be interesting to see. Rock has a script from screenwriter Justin Kuritzkis, who penned Challengers and Queer. So it'll be interesting.
I'm just thinking of the huge lexicon of DC characters, and Sgt. Rock is right on top of the ones I wanted adapted into a movie.
Barely C-list.
He's
But
the most
that's James
affordable.
Gunn. That's James Gunn.
Fair point. If we were to cast an American actor for Sgt. Rock, who would you guys think?
The Rock.
Jake
Duh.
Gyllenhaal.
Alan Richardson.
Alan Richardson.
John Hamm. John Hamm.
These are all excellent.
I don't know about John
excellent.
Hamm.
No,
John Hamm for sure would be good.
John Bernthal.
John
For
Bernthal.
Sgt. Rock, I'm going straight to Aaliyah Shawkat.
Yes.
Yeah. She's perfect.
Jason Bateman.
Uh-huh.
Jason Bateman.
Yo.
Hey, well.
Fresh
I
off
don't
of
know.
Ozark. Let's go.
I want the cast of Arrested Development to play Sgt. Rock. Just all of them.
Switch it out.
The entire
Sure,
cast.
Yeah.
All right. I look forward to
Sam the Eagle.
what Portia de Rossi brings to that. I look forward to it because I love her. Let's see. Oh, here's the other one. I know how Rebecca's going to respond to this. Darren Aronofsky is looking at directing a new Cujo movie.
Nope.
Tell me how you think I will respond to this.
Don't we have enough original projects in Hollywood?
No, my original reaction is, ew, Stephen King, ew.
No.
Oh, right. That's, yeah.
All right, ready for my
But
thought on
there's a
this
dog
one?
in this
Yeah,
one.
Sure, Jay. Go.
Because you just said original projects. What's that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's that?
What's
Well,
that?
and the original projects that are out there, people aren't going to. Mickey 17, for example. I hear
Are
it's
they?
great. I hear it's
Novocaine,
great.
Black Bag, Opus.
Yep. For the
So-
same reason why all of our shows have shitty 80s songs on them now. All people want is nostalgia.
I guess.
Yeah. Because if I hear Starship one more fucking time, I'm going to go on a rampage.
You're not the only one.
What?
Watch that episode 4.
Has Aronofsky done anything that's adapted like this before? Most of his stuff is original, isn't it?
He did Requiem for a Dream. He did Black Swan.
Yeah.
The
He wants
Fountain.
to make
Mother
he
is
want-
technically adapted from the Bible.
He wants I think he wants to make money.
Is that what this is? Okay.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me what Cujo? I'm aware
It's a
there's
dog with rabies. It's a dog with
Oh.
rabies.
Okay. I knew there was a
It's
dog.
literally just a dog with rabies.
starring the kid from Who's the Boss.
Yep.
Allow me to elaborate for Rebecca. 1981 novel. A lovable Saint Bernard named Cujo, bitten by a bat, becomes a mouth-foaming killer.
Bat dog.
But at night,
Yep.
he becomes a vampire. And
That's true.
Bat dog.
yeah, it's a Barlow bat from Jerusalem's Lot.
Like the dog is murdering people.
Yeah.
Like
There's a-
murdering.
There's a great scene of the mother and her son trapped in the car outside of this, gas station or whatever it is and Cujo's on top of it.
But like, it's just a dog, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's
talk
saying-
dog.
And
He's a-
this is
Is
a
any
small,
dog just
Hang on,
a
hang on.
dog?
And
It's
this is a
Saint
small.
Bernard.
This is a small town, right? That it takes
Yep.
place in.
Probably.
Small
Wait a
towns are
minute, a
full of
Stephen
people
King
with
movie that takes place
guns.
in a small town?
This is
No.
1981, Tony.
Let me guess.
Guns hadn't
In
been invented
Maine,
yet.
is it a small town in Maine?
He
Yeah.
does love Maine settings.
Yeah.
Salem's Lot. Yeah, Salem's Lot. Cujo. A lot of his
New
movies.
England.
Bug
got-
Hunter
Yep.
in the chat room saying, wasn't this Stephen King's cocaine era?
Early cocaine era.
Early
so
cocaine
he
era?
he could still finish a book as opposed to late cocaine era like Tommy Knockers, 1,000 pages to just forget what the whole point was.
Take that, Stephen King, who listens all the time.
Boom.
Hey, he got his.
Boom. All right. Okay, now another chapter in the life of Kerry Jackson and his love of Looney Tunes.
This is
God,
a good chapter, though, right?
What are they doing to your precious babies?
I know, right?
It's like Warner Brothers.
I think Bugs Bunny killed Zaslav's family or something. This is the revenge that he's trying to seek
Because
out.
I remember when there used to be Warner Animation stores, and there was a giant
Yes.
statue of Bugs Bunny out front, and they were lauded like royalty.
And now Warner Brothers just like, you know what we need to do? We need to get rid of our most recognized
Oh.
IP.
I thought this was that Wiley, the People versus Wile E. Coyote got
That's a
purchased.
story too.
It's
Okay.
it's part of the story.
There's so much Looney Tunes news this week.
Oh,
There's
boy.
a ton of it. First of all, Coyote versus Acme. Well,
Yeah,
let's
that's what it was.
back up. Let's back up to the day the Earth blew up, which is out in theaters now. You wouldn't know it, but it's out in theaters now.
Ketchup Entertainment doesn't have the marketing budget. They're doing their best.
Well, now Ketchup Entertainment is looking to get the rights to Coyote versus Acme to put it in theaters like it did because Warner didn't distribute the day the Earth blew up.
Yeah.
They sold it to
They
Ketchup.
sold it to Ketchup.
Yeah.
You know, if they'd have picked a tastier condiment, they'd probably have more money.
No, where Ketchup is being genius, though, is that they're showing it to animators, and animators are freaking out and saying, go see this movie. And so word of mouth is spreading, and now the movie is, like, it was only supposed to be in theaters for 4 days, and now it's going on its second week. So,
Oh, good.
Nice.
yeah.
So they're talking about getting, it's still in talks. You know how Zaslav is he'll be a dick about it. And, so hopefully they could do it. Now, Ketchup is also backed projects such as Hellboy the Crooked Man.
Which got a bad rap. That was a much better movie than anybody got credit for.
Also
Trains.
the Ben Affleck movie Hypnotic and Michael Mann's Ferrari. So that's all Ketchup Entertainment buying them from people and distributing them. So they're
The rescue of film distributors.
so
Hey, that's how Mandelabra is getting made.
exactly. So what does David Zaslav do? Not only to be a dick, is he's sticking to that 50 mil to buy it from them, but he also pulled the Looney Tunes, classic Looney Tunes, off of Max.
Yep.
The only Looney Tunes that are there now are the newer ones. Hey, God bless you, modern animators, but you just don't have it.
Not as good.
So Zaslav pulled all the classic Looney Tunes, which was a real bitch because occasionally Sue and I, before we go to bed, would have a little Looney Tunes nightcap before we went to bed, and so we just had them in rotation
Help get you in the mood.
on the
some,
Max app.
Bugs
Well,
Bunny.
he's
dressed
always
up as a
wanted-
lady.
He just wanted to dismantle. He's always wanted to dismantle Warner Brothers first and foremost.
Yeah.
That's been his. He hates traditional programming. He believes in all just reality. He's all about reality. So everything he does tracks. But you wanted to put out the Flash. And we all knew you shouldn't have put that out, but you scrapped Batgirl.
Yeah.
And now you're getting rid of the Looney Tunes. And somebody else is like, yo, we should just go ahead and get Coyote versus that. I just hate this dude. So
I heard a theory that because WB is waging a lot on the success of Superman, should Superman not do well, they may sell the Burbank lot and do everything out of the Las Vegas lot that they built over COVID.
it has to make $1 billion. This is not a stretch. This is not a joke. This is not a game. Superman has to do $1 billion. If it doesn't, it's a wrap.
So like I grew up on Magnolia Boulevard in Burbank, California. I could see the WB water tower from my mom's house when I was a kid. I cannot imagine Burbank without that tower.
Exactly.
Without that lot. I mean, it's
surely they'd turn it into a mall or something.
Six
wouldn't they?
Flags.
I mean,
Catch Up Entertainment, swoop in by the WB lot.
Sounds like it's time to start dumpster diving behind Warner Brothers Studios. See what you can get out of there.
So I did some research, and I found that there are places where you can still see classic Looney Tunes. Well, first of all, my house, because I own them on DVD.
Yeah, but Carrie, we don't want to go there because we know you put it on as a nightcap, hoping for a little duck season, and every once in a while it's rabbit season.
Like a little foghorn leghorn to get her going.
Oh my God.
I say,
Now,
something wrong with that boy.
Now, Sue.
Thank you.
I like to play this Jay and I, the only two just like, nope.
I don't want this.
Okay, all right. Well, then let me finish.
I don't want this in my head.
Not phrasing, Carrie, phrasing.
If you have a Roku, there is a Looney Tunes Classics channel. So you can watch it on your Roku. Also, MeTV Tunes is a channel dedicated to not just Looney Tunes, but classic Saturday morning cartoons. So you can find it that way. Also, Looney Tunes cartoons on the Warner Classics YouTube or WB Kids channels. So those are places where you can find your classics.
So it's not you can't find them at all.
It's not you can't find. You have to hunt. You have to hunt for 'em.
The Platinum
Be very,
Collection
very
is-
quiet. We're hunting cartoons.
You have to go to Amazon to find it, but the Platinum Collection is available for like $12 for Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's
If you
I
want
have
your physical media.
I have it in the next room. It was one of the best investments I ever made. It turns out.
Yeah.
Physical media, folks. All right.
Speaking of, the Steelbook of the entirety of Lower Decks is just selling out over and over and over again. But it's running about $50 for the 4K Steelbook, and just keep an eye out for it because it's every episode plus about 6 hours of commentary.
And you would
Is
be
it all
wise,
5 seasons?
And,
Yes.
Yes, and you would be wise to buy that because we all know how Paramount feels about Star Trek these days.
Yeah, I ordered mine from Grey Whale, and it'll be out in May. So
I want that.
Egg Foo in the chat room. That's why I bought all of Columbo.
You know, I mean, the man likes what the man
Our
likes.
boy loves Columbo.
He does.
How can you not?
and that's why I bought the Huggy Bear collection of Starsky and Hutch.
Real quick, it's really weird hearing these discussions outside of LA because we all see out here all the stuff that's going on with all these studios just snatching stuff, trying to get rid of things, legacy things being dismantled or deleted. It's crazy. So to know people outside of just the industry itself are being affected, it's like, oh, okay, y'all know how we feel out here.
Oh yeah, we follow this stuff. Okay, now this is. I mean, I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm like, why? Disney on Disney Plus has added a 24/7 Simpsons channel.
We knew this was only a matter of time.
Well, I mean, all the Simpsons was available on Disney Plus, but this time they're picking them for you.
And it
I
just-
do need a
it just
randomizer.
plays. It just plays continuously,
It just plays
24/7.
continuously. It's a stream.
which I like that idea because I don't
Yeah.
want to have to decide what to watch sometimes. I just want to push the button and let it go.
When
like
have you
TV
ever
used to be. You know?
Yeah, when have you ever started an episode of The Simpsons from the beginning? The Simpsons
like-
is a show that you always just kind of fall in the middle of.
So the Criterion channel does this, and it's what I watch on Criterion now. Is I just put on because it's pre-programmed and you never know what's coming, and then you get some awesome movie from Zimbabwe.
It's called the term is lean back viewing, or as I like to refer to it, television. Anyway,
Television.
Oh wow, that's an innovative thing.
I know, right? No, there's occasionally Sue will say, "I want to watch the episode where Bart sells his soul," and I'll have to,
Find it.
Find it.
But
That is a classic, though.
it is. But anyway, so there, yeah, and I went and tried it, and it's exactly what you think it is. Now, if we could just do that with Looney Tunes, that would be awesome. Anyway,
You can get the Lower Decks complete series non-steelbook for like $40 if you don't want to shell out the extra money for the steelbook. Just saying, it's even cheaper if you want.
Lee likes
Man,
his-
I got my George Miller Steelbook collection of the Mad Max movies. And,
really?
Yeah, that's being buried with me.
Cool.
I figured you'd use it as armor on your car when everything goes Mad Max.
That's the other reason why Steelbook's so great.
I see. I see.
just get some of that glue that Elon used and glue it on your car.
Yeah, yeah. And then after watching Book of Eli, I know I need lots of wet wipes for currency.
Stock up now.
I forgot
You know,
about the
I'm headed to Costco
Because-
after this. I'm going to get some.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's Costco right down the street.
Because when he walked in and Tom Waits was like, "What you got, stranger?" He's like, "I got wet wipes." He's like, "Oh, damn, KFC wet wipes? What do you
This guy
want?"
he is a high roller. Come on in, sir.
Damn.
Smells like lemon. It smells like lemon.
He does. He's moisturizing. All right.
I mean, you look like a guy that eats cat, but still, I'll sell you that. I'll sell you some batteries.
But he's got wet wipes, so
Yeah.
I'm going to let it pass.
Now, the latest kind of Hollywood problem is the Saw franchise. Apparently, zero progress has been made on the next installment.
Harry, it's time we get to work.
I guess so, because
Yeah.
well, I saw that the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre are up for sale, so maybe we should do that.
With Glenn Powell in negotiations or whatever.
Buy them
wants-
both
yeah,
and
he
make
wants
a
to buy-
crossover.
But
No,
instead,
see-
we get Saw 7 or some shit.
So what I want to do is also buy Arlo Guthrie's song bibliography, so then I can go back and make it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The screenwriter, Patrick Melton, says, "We haven't heard anything since May. It's stalled at the management level. It has nothing to do with the creative or anything else. It's higher level things at play. Saw 10 did very well, and, so they thought it would just make sense to keep going.
Wait a minute, there's 10 of these movies?
Yes.
Yeah, dog.
Yes. But they're not all called Saw. Like one is Jigsaw.
One is Spiral.
Spiral. Yeah, they're different. So then the other one, it was just like, yeah, those are different names. So a few of them.
There's as many?
They're counting all three. I know. I saw what you did last summer. Movies.
So there's
saw
as many
what you did
Saw
last summer.
movies as there is Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
wild.
Oh God.
Why are you
Wow.
complaining?
He also goes on to say it may or may not be made, but we have a very timely story in it, and I think this might be why it's not getting made. I hope it gets made just because of that. It taps into the same themes as this other one, where you're a citizen, you feel angry and frustrated with something, you feel like you can't do anything about the insurance companies.
Oh, no.
That's why it's not. I'm telling you.
We already
Between
had
that-
this. It happened in
between-
real
Yeah, that
life.
was Saw. What was that? Saw 6?
Yes, exactly.
That was
And
6?
so between this and the fact that Tubin Bell is 81 years old, those I think are the two reasons that you're not getting.
Also, we don't need this man no more. You got his look. Listen, I want to say this. I was on strike for 9 months. We were protesting against AI and all these different things. However, this man is 81. You got enough copies of this man's voice to do whatever you need to do for them tapes.
That's right.
Just make sure his estate gets a slice of that pie.
That's it. Make sure the state
Do
get
your
that money. Do your thing. Stop trying to drag this man out and then doing flashbacks like we're supposed to believe, oh, John Kramer is really 52. No, he looks 81. Like,
So he says they say management problems. Or like
That's
it's
what they're
problems
saying.
with management. Is it like studio management, or did the article say?
Studio management.
So A24, if you're paying attention,
Ooh. Yeah, this is. I want to. I have a soft spot for these movies. I admit. I
Did
like
you say
them.
a saw spot?
A soft spot?
but ching.
Thank you. Anyway, And this is sad news for Tony.
What?
Solar Opposites.
Yeah, I saw this.
Is ending with its 6th season.
I mean, Rebecca's a big fan of Solar Opposites as well.
I do love Solar Opposites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bummed that this is ending, but at the same note, end on a high note.
I am glad it made it as far as it did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I expected 2 seasons, maybe 3, but 6, and they've all been really funny. So
I just hope that they resolve the people in the wall thing.
Yes, exactly. That's the main thing.
That's all that matters.
They need to resolve the shrunken people storyline.
Exactly. You forget that they are making the Spider-Man Noir show.
No,
Yes,
no.
I do.
I didn't
No,
forget.
we don't.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Rob's got it.
Rob looks at the action figure daily.
Rob doesn't forget anything ever.
Also true.
Cyclones. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
I've had 3 buddies audition for the show. None of them got it. I was
Really?
like, that tracks. That tracks.
Lucas Haas, who is apparently in it, mentioned that it could get 2 releases, one in color and the other in black and white.
It's already in black and white. Sorry.
Well, that's what I thought it should be filmed in, is black and white.
I mean, it says it in the name, Noir.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
do it.
and when they released the comic, it was in black and white.
It's
you know?
it's live action, right? It's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
With Nicolas Cage as
Cage.
this
Okay.
Peter.
In the suit and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
yeah.
So he's not going to be running very much.
So it's not, and a lot of this is not like Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian, how it's just his voice.
Right.
And he's
His
not
grandson.
Yeah, it's actually Nicolas Cage for the majority of this.
But I
would
mean,
expect
does that
nothing
surprise
less from the
anybody?
Cage.
I
Yeah,
mean, 2 words,
exactly.
Ghost Rider.
Exactly.
Hey man, I'm about to go. He brought up Ghost Rider. I gotta leave.
Sorry, 2 words: tax debt.
I gotta go.
Should I have said Con Air or The Rock instead?
There he is.
But here's
there
the thing.
he is.
Oh, look, that's the full Cage right there.
The full Cage.
Strapped to the roof of that car.
But this is not going to be. This is a mistake. It's not going to be in theaters. It says it's going to air on MGM Plus.
What?
MGM Plus.
Yeah,
I thought it was just
Who
straight
owns
Amazon.
MGM Plus.
MGM Plus is owned by Amazon. And
Yeah, I thought it was straight on Amazon.
They use it to put on their experimental shows like From, but then From got big, so they put it on Prime. And then they were like, "Oh, MGM Plus is not doing well. Let's put it back on MGM Plus." So they're just like shuffling their one good show back and forth.
Do you know what else went directly to MGM Plus? Challengers.
Oh, this I forgot. I need to go back and read this comic again.
Period piece as well, it looks like.
Yes.
I enjoyed this comic so much. Anyway, and then finally, this Amanda Seyfried is out promoting her latest, whatever it is that she's doing. It's a TV
Oh, she's got a
series,
show
right?
on Peacock?
Yeah, the Peacock show. And she said that she was offered the part of Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy and turned it down.
Do you know what she
darn.
turned it down to do instead?
What?
Yep, I do.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh
the
my
Seth
God.
MacFarlane movie.
Oh, my God. Well, here's what she said.
That's how little faith she had in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here's what she said about Guardians of the Galaxy. I was really scared of the idea of being stuck and painted and different color because of the amount of time it takes. It was a giant opportunity. I just met James in person. He was wonderful. Apparently someone said he doesn't remember this, but it did happen. I was offered it. I mulled it over a couple of days. I didn't want to live in London for 6 months out of the year. There was another movie I wanted to do. Oh, here it is. Million Ways to Die in the West. I also remember thinking that being part of the first Marvel movie that bombs is not good for your career.
See, that's what I'm saying. She had no faith in this movie at all.
I thought that because it was about a talking tree and a talking raccoon,
Yep.
it would be Marvel's first bomb, and me and Chris Pratt would never work again, but I was wrong.
Look, no one had faith in this movie, though. We
that's
were
true.
making fun of it.
That's
We
true.
were.
She goes on later on in the article to say that she still feels good about her decision, and the direction it took her is where she's at now, and she's fine with that. So it was interesting.
So the question is, who feels worse about skipping a movie? her for this or Will Smith for The
I
Matrix.
would, or Will Smith for The Matrix.
Absolutely.
I'm going to make Wild Wild West.
I think it was Sean Connery for Star Wars.
Yeah.
He was offered Obi-Wan, and then he was like, "Oh, that didn't work. I think I'll do this thing called Zardoz instead."
That's right, Zardoz.
Oh.
It's crazy that over the years we've heard of like various stories of actors actively turning down roles. They're like, I think this is gonna be a bomb, and then it's like, what? If I understand with Guardians, unless you were a comic book nerd, you had no idea who they were.
But even even this group, I mean, nobody knew.
Right,
I mean,
but I'm
these are
just saying,
aren't even the Guardians that people read about.
Yeah.
right, but it's like you have this group, and it's like, all right, but you see, Marvel Studios is on a roll at this point. They're literally rolling. And now you're like, I don't want to be green all day. Well,
I mean,
not easy
honestly,
being green.
I get it. It's why Colin Farrell doesn't want a Penguin season 2. Like, sitting in the chair, getting all the makeup done all the time.
Okay.
You could be out
Buckets of
seeing
money.
the sun. You could be out
Hey.
seeing the sun. You could
Listen.
be out touching grass.
you could be Jennifer Lawrence in Dark Phoenix when she was just like, y'all doing one layer of paint on me and that's it.
No more.
You're not even putting all these little dots on me. Just put 8 on and we gone.
But think about Zoe Saldana though. She's in some of the biggest money making movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
She's like the highest grossing actress.
And she's amazing, you know.
Because she's in those Infinity War movies. She's in those Avatar movies.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She's
She's
now
in
an
Those Star
Academy.
Trek movies.
She's Uhura. Oh man.
She now just won an Oscar.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I love her.
And
I love her.
and also, she no black, she Dominican. We know.
That's true.
She no black, she Dominican.
She's Dominican and Puerto Rican. What's so crazy, my husband and I did a deep dive on this literally the other day. We were like, what is Zoe Saldana? And she is Dominican and Puerto Rican.
The answer
Yeah, we
is-
know, but it's like, I'm normally Afro-Latina, but when you won, I know black papi, I Dominican. We know. We know.
What you got? I'll play it. What you got? All right. What did we consume this week? Who wants to go first? Lee? Go.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty quick. Severance, go to hell.
Oh man,
Stupid show.
Finale of that.
I hate you.
season.
I hate you. I hate you with my entire fiber of my being because you're so good.
So
Also,
good.
just so love everybody posting spoilers
Yeah.
for
I
Severance
see.
on the
I'm-
timeline.
I managed to skip them, so I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
barely
stayed
on
away.
social media. That's the only advantage to being off social media for the most part. Like I get on Blue Sky and I don't read anything. I just post my stupid bullshit and leave. So anyway, I love that Ben Stiller didn't think the show would even get greenlit for the first season.
Yeah.
And
And
they
so-
announced a third season yesterday.
Yeah.
Third season announced.
Wheel of Time just hit one of the wildest parts of the books, and
Okay.
oh boy, was it crazy! Like it is now starting to be its own show. It's the story is moving forward. It's doing its thing, and this episode kicks some ass. So
Let me say something about Wheel of Time, Lee.
yeah,
I watched the first
let me
episode
speak.
of season 3.
yeah.
And they covered more in that first episode than like a third of a book.
Yeah.
And it was glorious.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
changed some things that I think
Well,
they
well-
needed to change. And the hardcore Wheel of Time fans out there are crying about this. And I'm just like, no, this is better.
A really good friend of mine, guy lives on my street, diehard fan for 25 years, and he loves what they did.
Oh, good.
But Rand's trial at
Oh,
Rivian,
see, I haven't got there yet. Oh boy.
it's phenomenal.
Cool.
We started Reacher season 3. I just love that show. It's
Yeah.
everything.
What'd you think of the first 20 minutes of the
Yeah,
first episode?
the premiere. Were you also like, I don't know what happened
What's
to my
going on
friend
here?
Reacher?
I had a good time. I was enjoying it. But
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like it's this point now where in between naps, I just wake up and put a show on, and if it takes me somewhere, I'm happy. Daredevil, just kiss Frank and Matt. You'll be so much happier. And then last week I talked about the Deadly Class Omnibus from Rick Remender, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to go ahead and put down my $44.
There you
see
go.
what. So here it is. Here it is.
Oh, such a great book.
But
Thick.
Ooh,
That is thick.
That's thick,
that's the
boys.
Bible.
this is 3 inches
Just
thick.
2 C's.
That was only $40?
This is $44 from Thrift Books, and all of Remender's omnibuses are up This is 56 issues of the comic book.
I think I need to buy that.
And what's
good.
amazing is it's the entire story. You don't need anything else. It's everything.
It's all there. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So this is beautiful. I've got Black Science and Low from Remender coming next week. But yeah, this is seriously worth every single dollar. Like, you think about how much value you get for your buck here. This is what I think it's 11 graphic novels.
For $44, that's like $4 a novel.
Yeah,
That's right.
Math.
Oh,
And-
okay.
So, and yeah, you get it from thrift books, which means you're not supporting Bezos and his oligarchy club. So, yeah. Anyway, that's me.
That's it? All right.
Good stuff, man.
Who wants to go next? Rebecca,
go
did you
next.
Oh, okay. Tony?
Dibs.
Duke it out, Tony.
Dibs. So yeah, season finale of Severance, just awesome. Season finale of Harley Quinn, awesome. Daredevil episode 4, or was it 3? Whichever. 4. Yeah, man, that was so. I agree with what Rebecca said earlier because she's seen it all, and it does. It starts to pick up steam as it goes. And by this episode, I was like, okay, this is really. I mean, it was already good, but now it's getting really good. Shoresy, the latest season of Shoresy on Hulu. Great
You're the
stuff.
one watching that?
I'm the one. That's me.
But he's an executive producer, so he has to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And then the season finale of Invincible.
Yes. That went hard.
Oh man, did that go hard? That was so dang good, and the way they pulled that all off was fantastic. Conquest was super cool and terrifying. Jeffrey Dean Morgan did a great job.
Did it go harder than his dad holding people's faces against passing trains?
Yeah, it did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can believe it.
Yeah.
You, as I was watching it, I'm thinking to myself, Kirkman always says, I want to do a live action version. And I'm like, no,
You can't.
you can't.
No.
Yeah, like I love the show, but I can't watch it. It's too much for me.
It's a
Oh
lot.
man,
And
it is a lot.
This
Like,
season was a lot, Lee.
It absolutely loved this season. Reading a few more of the Absolute Superman from DC. They're taking this in a really interesting direction. I am liking it. So
Where
I
are
gotta
you
say,
in the story?
I'm only on the third
Okay.
issue, so I'm not too far yet. But I really am enjoying what they're doing with this. And then last but not least, I don't think I talked about this last week, but you can stop me if I did. There is a documentary on.
No.
Oh, there's a documentary on Hulu that just came out recently called "A Devil in the House: The Ruby Frankie Story."
Oh, don't.
Oh my god! I have a
Whoa.
friend. So I have a friend who lives in Pennsylvania who has no idea about this story, and so he's sending me like bits about the Mormons that he finds endearing, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "This
What?
Jody-
He's sending you?
this, like, or maybe it's like the Jody Hildebrandt one." But I was like, "Oh shit!" And Ruby Frankie, and he's like, "Who? She hasn't shown up yet." And then she shows up, and then he's like, "Oh my god, this is insane! Do you know
Yeah.
about this?" I'm like, "I live in Utah. I know way more about
So-
it than I need to."
It's a 3-part documentary series on Hulu. Each one's about an hour long, and it is the story of this lady, Ruby Frankie, who was a mommy vlogger for a long time, and basically just her descent into madness.
She's
Her and her best friend Jody. Hildebrandt.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow. And let me tell you, as a practicing LDS member, Church of Latter-day Saints, every time something like this comes on, I'm just like, oh man. Every time it shows, hey, this person's a Mormon, I'm just like, don't make us look bad. Don't make us look bad. Oh, we're looking bad. And she was crazy, absolutely crazy. And
it's just horrible what she
it
did.
is. What they did was unforgivable, in my opinion.
My wife came in from the next room and she was crying because she was
It's awful.
watching this. And it's just terrible, And she started telling me about it, and I'm like, I know, please stop. I don't.
So if you want to get mad at an abusive mom, watch the Ruby Frankie documentary.
You're not quite selling it for me, but thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know if
Yeah.
that was the point.
I
Yeah,
try.
Rob and Jay, what could we tell you about this to get
Oh,
you?
let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute.
intrigued
Not a
enough to
damn
watch?
thing.
No, Rob,
Nothing. Exactly. You don't want it, Jay.
No, but I just say what I've been watching.
We'll get there. Do you want to go next? Go ahead.
Yes, please.
All right. Let's
What have you been watching, Jay?
wipe the slate clean here. Let's.
Puppy.
Follow that.
Oh, the pit. The pit.
Let's talk about the pit.
Let me tell you something. This has become one of my favorite shows. The fact it's a hospital drama that's set like 24, where every episode is 1 hour, and this hour because there's a mass shooting that's happened, and you're like, oh, this can't be that. Oh my god! You're like, oh, what is? The first 10 minutes, you're like, oh no, because they show what the reality is. You know, how hospitals prepare for it. Like, they have color-coded bands. Like, yo, if they got this black and white, they gone. Send them to pediatrics. If they got a red, they gone. Like, all these different things. And you're watching them. The whole emergency room is just filled with bodies. And there's more bodies coming in. And then there's a cop that got shot in the neck. And it came through his cheek. And I was like, ah! Ooh. I was a grown man who crumbled. I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, oh, my God. This is like a couple weeks, like week before they showed childbirth, and I was like, I have 2 kids, and I still was too much to see.
No thanks. I'll watch the Ruby Frankie story again.
The episode with the childbirth. What? It's super duper not for me, thanks. But I saw a behind the scenes thing. The baby was a robotic baby.
Yeah,
she gave birth to a robot.
They had a whole
robot, dude.
It was a whole rig and everything. Because I was like, I had to do some Googling. I was like, was this a real thing? Because it was.
Don't tell
and
me
like
it was
the
a robot.
the belly and the legs and the woohoo
You won't-
are all like
You won't be able to tell,
prosthetic.
Carrie. Yeah, you won't be able
It
to tell.
looks exactly like the real.
It looks.
Yeah.
It's that good. Okay.
Could you imagine being the special effects guy that's tasked with making this? All right, we need you to make.
But like the pit,
So hear
the
me out.
pit
Hear me out.
is like truly masterclass in prosthetics and makeup and like not only
okay.
just like prop work and like makeup and presentation, but also it's such an educational show. Like like these people know what they're doing. When they've dropped so many nuggets of wisdom, like one, trust nurses, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
And when they're doing the episode about preparing for the mass shooting victims that are coming in, I think it was really helpful because like, should you or I find ourselves in that situation where we find ourselves at a hospital during a mass casualty event, it kind of gives you an insight into what to expect. And, you know, shows you that these doctors aren't ignoring you. You're literally in a war zone and they're doing the best that they can. And here's what you can expect in this particular scenario. I thought it was so just like educational. I was locked in, edge of my seat, fastest hour of my life. I binge watched the whole season in like 2 days. And my husband joined in about halfway through. And so the most recent episode ends, and I'm like, I am so sorry to break this news to you, but we do have to wait a week for the next episode after we've been binging it for 2 days.
Yep. I was watching that, and so Daredevil, of course, episode 4. I smiled heavily when Frank appeared on the screen because I was like, that's why I didn't get a season 2 of our show. But I understand. That's why we didn't get season 2. But I knew he was going back to be the Punisher, so I was like, oh, we're not getting season 2 of American Gigolo. So it was okay.
Apparently, he's helping to write the next. It's not going to be a season of The Punisher. It's going to be a movie or a special.
It's like Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So it wouldn't be surprised if it's him during the blip.
Oh,
that would be cool.
What do you think he was up to during the blip?
Oh, he's
Kill
like,
him.
I only have
remember,
half
the
as.
wor-
I only have
the
half
world
as
was
many
crazy.
gangsters to kill.
well,
Yeah,
Roman
the
was
wo-
out there too. Yeah.
So you never know. Also, of course, Invincible. I saw that. And Paradise. If you have not watched Paradise,
Yes.
Paradise is because that's what that for me is a masterclass in acting with both James Marsden and Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they are on so many different. They just elevate every episode. And James Marsden is just like incredible. And you only like see, you find out you only really see him in flashbacks, but it's like, wow. So that was what I was watching.
Also, that woman who's Sinatra, she's next level villain, I think.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
she did a great job.
Yeah. She's evil.
Did you finish Paradise, Jay?
Yes, I'm done with it.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, just making sure.
Season
I
2
wish
on
we
the
had.
way.
I wish we had season 2 right now. I think that might be my favorite new show of the year. Paradise.
It's gonna be
The
interesting.
pit's
with
really
season,
good, dude.
Season 2 is gonna be interesting in Paradise because now they're not in the cave anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not.
It's gonna follow him the whole time, pretty
Well,
much.
there's a lot of people outside that cave.
It's
is
not
true.
still there.
Sinatra's
Yeah.
still there, yes.
Jan's playing Wii.
She's in recovery.
All right, Rebecca, what did you see this week?
Well, the pit. I
Yes.
can only. I just been thinking about it nonstop. Just super duper love the pit. That's all I ever want to talk about. But
That was my favorite
I-
line in Army of Darkness. I love the pit. All right.
but I only saw one movie this week, Snow White, and
And
listen, Disney's
How are
been doing.
those special effects?
Disney's been doing these live action remakes and they keep being bad.
Oh,
The special effects, Snow White does this thing. The movie Snow White does this thing where we have CGI 7 dwarves and the movie spends a lot of time on close-ups of their faces.
Oh
let's not do
no.
that.
And
no.
I don't like that. I didn't like that one bit at
Well,
all.
it's the IP. You got to keep the IP.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, Rachel Zegler, I would follow her to the gates of hell. I love her.
I
and
hear she's
love
fabulous in this.
She's great in this movie. She is Disney princess. She's doing the best that she can with what she has to work with, right? Is Snow White
that speaks
also
volumes.
overall like what are her problems? So we know the premise of Snow White, but basically Snow White, princess of this kingdom, her mother dies, very Disney, and then Gal Gadot comes in and marries the king, and somehow the king disappears. And Gal Gadot takes over and turns all the farmers into soldiers to protect the kingdom from what? We'll never know.
Woke.
And from woke. And she spends a lot of time inside wearing jewels and being like, am I pretty still? And Snow White, she's the mirror is like, Snow White. And she's like, get her out of here. And Snow White leaves. And Rachel Zegler spends a lot of time napping and doing chores. She's just like me for real.
Oh, it's a trad wife. It's a trad wife movie.
And then
Rebecca? Who's the king in this movie?
I don't know, some guy.
Okay, I'm just wondering because we now have had both Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman in Disney movies now.
Oh, it's
Because
not.
he was the king in Wish.
That's right.
Yeah, I have no idea. I wish I could tell you.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Just
Utterly
curious.
unrememberable.
I didn't
Pri-
even know there was from the trailers that there was a king.
Well, there's not. Because
okay.
otherwise there's no
'Cause he's
movie.
dead.
And
yeah, he's dead.
Prince Charming is not a prince in this movie. He's more of like a rogue.
Rogue Charming.
I can tell you the actor playing this guy, Jonathan, also played Joseph Smith in Under the Banner of Heaven.
Oh, that's him?
Oh,
That's him.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I don't know, they had to like add some stuff in to make it a nearly 2-hour long movie. Gal Gadot, as she is in every performance, is very stiff, very stilted, except during her songs. Her songs, she actually puts in effort. And it's very Ursula. It is very like hips and struts and whatever, but it's
Fabulous,
actually like
yeah.
the most personality I've ever seen Gal Gadot exhibit on screen.
Really?
It's
Okay.
crazy.
Even in the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Whatever.
Oh, don't
I
do
love Fast
that.
and Furious. I love Fast and Furious. I'll defend Fast and Furious until the day I die.
No, Fast and Furious you can defend, but Gal Gadot you can't. Oh.
She's like I said, she's stiff and silted in every single thing that she does, which personally I think worked for Wonder Woman, but like in everything
Sure.
else, but her songs, she's given it her all, and it was weird. Like where is this in
Yeah.
everything else?
Where has
Right.
this
How do you
been?
bring that out in the non-singing parts, you know?
Yeah, and
Imagine
The thing about Snow White is they have an opportunity to establish a world for Snow White to exist in, right? Like, tell me more about the kingdom and what's the deal with this kingdom, right? Like, what do you guys do? What's the deal with this kingdom? Gal Gadot, turns all the farmers into soldiers to protect them against exterior threats. What are those threats?
Oh, what? No.
The dwarves are so pressed to be on time to work every day. Who's their boss? Why are they mining? Why
I wondered that from the original.
It's called a work ethic, Rebecca.
I don't know what that is.
People these days don't want to work.
and it shows for a split second you're introduced to the concept of they have magic and they use the magic in these mines. And then what? What
Magic.
for? Where do these gems that you're mining go? They obviously go to the kingdom because Gal Gadot is covered in jewels and gems. What's the
Bitcoin.
mine to kingdom pipeline? There's just a lot of opportunity to establish a world beyond Snow White and her problems. And
You're asking a lot of questions.
I am asking a lot of questions.
I'm just so
You're
glad
looking for logic. You're looking
Where
for
there's
logic.
none to
The
be
evil
found.
queen has
Found.
magic powers. Show me
we
more
knew
of that.
that.
Yeah, but like, show me more of that, right? Like, instead of just
glad
using
this,
instead of
glad
just
this
using
movie
it
I
to
had-
make roses vanish into ash, do something else.
I'm just glad this movie I had no desire to watch whatsoever. Now I have even less desire to watch whatsoever.
So
The
just the
song,
roses go to
I'm gonna-
ash, the petals don't fall off. So she
No,
didn't create the rose for.
that's Beauty and the Beast.
It's a Disney movie, and we know it's all connected.
I was going to say, I keep waiting for the crossover movie where all of the live action worlds
Fables.
come together.
Read Fables.
Fables is great.
So there's gonna be a bunch of lions up here with smiley faces.
And there's something in this movie. So there's 7 CGI dwarves and 1 real life one. And
Wait, what? One of them's not CGI?
One of these things is not like the other?
Of the 7 dwarves, they are all CGI. The 7 dwarves that we have grown up with and know, those are all CGI. There's another character introduced who is a little person forced to interact with these CGI dwarves.
See, why
And
didn't
does
they
that
just...
not feel like a slap in the face?
That's a strange choice, isn't
It's
it? Yeah.
weird. Yeah, it's weird.
All right.
Dinklage
better,
warned
Disney.
us.
So what do you
And,
get?
and
what do
like,
you
I
give
don't
it?
know, maybe 2 out of 5. Like, maybe because the theater was 1,000 degrees. Maybe the theater was full of
No,
800
it's-
babies. Maybe
it's
maybe I'm a little too pro-Palestine to really give Gal Gadot any type of
So was Rachel
favorable-
Ziegler, though. She was wearing Free Palestine shirts to the filming of this movie.
Yeah.
And it's actually doing okay, box office
Is it?
wise. It's surprisingly doing well.
Because
I
like if you're
expected
gonna
it to
take your
bomb,
kids, like it's a fine kids movie, I guess. But like I said, Rachel Zegler crushes it. I think she is perfect in everything that she does, and
She's
I wish
great,
her nothing
yeah.
but the best. But
She
2 out of
made
5.
She made a pretty okay Hunger Games movie pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
because
she had-
she was so dedicated.
I
She
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
loved that book and that character, and so
Yeah,
she
no,
really
she did
threw
great.
herself into it.
I want her in an X-Men movie is what I want.
Ooh, yeah.
She'd make a good Dazzler since she has to sing and she has a great voice. So there
Yeah,
you go.
she's
Lila
busy being
Cheney.
Evita in the West End. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Rob.
Really quick, Travis Johnson makes a good point. The Disney princesses did already come together in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Good call out.
Yeah, that's
Good call
right.
out.
I love Wreck-It Ralph.
But we need the live action Wreck-It Ralph now.
Yeah.
who's
That's what I'm
okay?
talking about.
Who's
John C. Reilly.
Ralph?
John C.
John C. Riley.
Could still
Alan
play it.
Richardson. Come on.
No, John C. Riley's method. He'll
Oh, wait a minute,
make
wait a
it
minute,
happen.
wait a minute. Best of both worlds. Alan Richardson plays Ralph, voiced by John C.
John C.
Riley.
Riley.
I'll show you in the after party who should actually play him. He's an arm wrestler. His name's Jeff Dabe, and I'll show you a picture of him.
You big
You'll
in
see.
the arm wrestling community, Tony?
No, I dabble.
He bets on it. just like me betting on pig racing.
I just know that if you see someone turn their hat around backwards, it means you're in for a show.
Oh boy.
That's
right.
a reference
right.
to a Sylvester Stallone movie
Over the
about
top.
arm
Over the
wrestling.
top.
Rob.
Okay. Saw one movie this week for the second time, Captain America: Brave
Oh,
New
yeah.
World. Saw it with a friend of mine and was like, "Yep, just as good the second time. Quite enjoyed it. Love all the performances in that movie."
Jay doesn't agree with
Jay,
you.
Jay, it's all right. You'll be all right, son. The movie could have been better, but I still enjoyed it.
Look,
Let it go.
I would like to. I mean, listen, I gave Black in America all the credit possibly could. I was there for New Negro Order, and I was there to watch it, and I figured if we was me and my Blurred Brunch group, we're friends with Mackie, and we literally went to the theater. This is literally what we said, looking at each other. We here for Mackie. We just here for Mackie. We here for Mackie. We here for Mackie. That is all we kept saying while we sat through this movie. We here for Mackie.
That's funny.
We here for Mackie.
I liked it. I stand by it.
All right.
No, it was the great Incredible Hulk movie. It was a phenomenal Incredible Hulk movie with the Captain America dropped in it, but
It could have been better.
it could have been a Captain America movie.
Yes, it could have. Come on, they called him Cap throughout the movie. What more do you want?
They can
the
call it
title-
all they want. It was an
title
Incredible
alone.
Hulk sequel. Okay? Hey, what if we had Captain America calm the president down who turned into Red Hulk by some cherry blossoms that he referenced his daughter used to go with him, who we going to eventually use for a post-credit scene? Why not just have the daughter calm him down? Or son's getting real low. You know what? I'm not going to go through this again.
He's getting riled up over here.
No, I went to see it for my
Somebody
friend.
just man
I
some
went
water.
to see it for my friend. I went to see it for my friend. I saw it for my friend. I saw it for my
Anything
friend.
for our friend Anthony Mackie.
Yes.
You tell the homie, you like, hey, how'd you like the movie? Hey, bro, you were good.
So what's for dinner? Where are we going to eat?
What else?
I also saw my kids are doing stage crew for their high school musical this year, so I saw that. I've seen that twice now. We'll see it again a third time tonight.
What is it?
Legally Blonde Jr.
What?
Is that a thing?
Sure is now.
It is. It
Okay.
is. Yeah.
All right.
I get to see the other crew tonight. I've seen
the
two
B
casts.
cast?
The B cast tonight. Let's see. TV shows. So Invincible, but I realized I'm still in season 2. So
Oh,
you guys
dude.
are well ahead of me. So I got some
Bro,
catching up
you
to
ain't
do.
seen nothing yet. You ain't
Nothing.
seen nothing. You ain't seen it yet till you seen a dude murders his family and blames Mark on it. Now,
Oh,
pick whichever episode you want, because that's pretty much the thing. Pick whichever
Oh
episode.
man, the Powerplex stuff was so good.
That was.
Sad, but good.
It's very
Let's
sad.
see. Daredevil, episode 4. We will have to talk about this during the after party because I've got
Yes.
a lot of thoughts on this.
Oh, good.
A
good.
lot.
Because I
Built
as
this
well.
city.
Oh my gosh, so
We'll get
funny.
there. We'll
Shut
get
up,
there.
Rebecca.
Would die at that.
No, that's how I feel every time I hear that song. I want to fisk out on that.
4 different renditions of "We Built
Yeah.
This City."
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, I wasn't even mad at him for wanting to kill them kids. He was like, you sing one more note. You sing one more note.
We have for our
One more
next
note.
song. No, thank you.
So talented. You made me
Children
listen.
are our future.
You made me listen to Starship in front of Vanessa. Have I introduced you to my car door lately? Starship. You wrote
Damn it, Lee.
White Rabbit, and this is the garbage people memorialized you in.
Wow.
Go, Rob.
Doing some more for All Mankind. Still loving that show.
Yes.
Staying with Apple TV, I watched a show starring Brian Tyree Henry and a gentleman whose name I forget, and Kate Mulgrew called Dope Thief, which dropped last week. Brian Tyree Henry and his friend, longtime friend, are impersonating DEA agents and busting drug houses. And one of them goes horribly sideways.
Okay.
Are they
I hear
busting the
it's-
houses to just take the product so they can sell it?
No, they're just taking the money.
Oh, they're just taking the money.
I
Well, I
hear
mean,
it's,
they're taking some product too, but they're taking the money mostly.
I see.
I hear it's Kate Mulgrew's best part since Mrs. Columbo.
Honestly, I love her in this role.
Deep
She's a
dive.
crotchety old lady.
Deep dive.
And
She does a great job as a crotchety old lady. Orange is the New Black. She was really good in.
Oh yeah.
Mrs.
Doing
Columbo.
that kind of thing.
You know what's
She was
beautiful about
26, but
Apple TV shows? Because they'll spend $1 billion on the cast, and only my buddy Malcolm Barrett said this best. Said they'll have the most amazing cast you've ever seen, only to release it on a full moon and cancel it. Like you'll never know it existed.
Yep.
And I was like, bro, that's the realest. Because they were filming a scene across the street from I live in the Valley. They were filming a scene across the street from me for The Last Thing He Said to Us. And I was like, y'all got Jennifer Garner, Aisha Tyler, or the dude that played Jamie Lannister in The Hood. I was like, oh my God. Okay.
but I'm recommending this show. If you got Apple TV, check it out. And so going back to my dad TV kind of stuff, there's a show on NBC called The Irrational, starring Jesse Martin, who you may know from The Flash or Rent or blah, 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 as a psychologist. This episode, however, has him investigating a murder at a small production of Little Shop of Horrors. And he winds up in the cast as Audrey, too. So you actually get to see him acting, doing a dual role of his normal character and then acting in this and singing. And it was adorable.
I have never heard of the show, and it sounds extremely up my alley.
Give it a shot. I've been enjoying it. It's fun. It's I like procedurals, but it's not your standard procedural. Just because they go into some of the actual psychology behind how people behave and why they do what they do.
Yeah, I love.
So there's that. So really quick, Tony. Oh, sorry. N.K. Jemisin reference. Still doing 100,000 Kingdoms. Still loving it.
There you go.
All right.
I'm so against you promoting such a talented writer.
Give him the screen. We got some.
And for Jay, Captain America #3. So anybody who's not named Jay know what 40 Acres and a Mule is?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of
do.
referenced in this.
I mean, yeah, I've read history books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some history books don't really talk about
No.
it much. So, but this one, there's a company that is creating places for people to live, and they're kind of marketing them towards the disenfranchised. But there's something fishy going on, and oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that this character is Isaiah Bradley's son, Josiah X, who is now known as Shadow Soldier.
I love that costume. That's great.
And he and Sam have some distinct ideological differences about how to do things, but they understand that some things got to get done. And this series has actually been this take on it has been good. It's written by Evan Narcisse, so somebody who gets it.
Yeah.
I do recommend it. Silverhawks 2. We get bluegrass in this one.
So they get to the origin of Sideman?
A little, not yet. We do get Hot Licks in this one, and there's a cameo appearance by my favorite black Silverhawk.
Hot Wing!
Oh, I did that at the perfect time.
You did.
Hot Wing! Yes!
Hot Wing. We talked about Hot Wing a few weeks ago, Jay. I couldn't believe it.
on Prime, there's a network. They have a live TV thing, and it's a network. There's a thing called Cartoon Rewind, and they went through a whole thing of Silverhawks, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I forgot Hot Wing was in multiple episodes. Like he is it. Oh.
Just for you, Jay. Just for you.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, this made my morning.
Oh, that's funny.
Two absolute titles: Absolute Batman 6 and Absolute Flash #1.
Oh,
Batman kicks ass. Flash not running yet,
Oh, okay.
but there is a mystery involved, and Wally is somehow at the middle of it, and this will probably be how he develops his powers.
Oh,
But
Absolute
it's,
Flash is starting with Wally, not with Barry.
He's
Barry's
speed walking
in
at
it.
the mall.
Oh, Barry's
Barry's
in it.
in it
Okay.
for a minute.
I'm speed walking. Oh, look at the Lady Footlocker. Oh, that's great.
Interesting.
World Under Doom, issue #2. The Fantastic Four is still like Victor's up to something. Victor has a chat with Valeria, and watching the two of them is one of the most strange relationships in the Marvel Universe, because he's her godfather, but he will shoot everything straight with her. Like, I'm doing this for this reason. He literally tells her. She's like, what's your end game? He's like, I'm just doing it for the glory. Because like all these people have screwed this up. I can do this because I am the one person who can make this better. And watching him justify it to a 13-year-old and just be like, no, this is the whole thing. I just want my name to stand for something and for people to understand that I'm the best choice for this.
Hubris.
Slightly. And then, the Fantastic Four comes and they're like, just going to break shit. And they do. And, well, hilarity ensues. Finally.
Yes.
Last Days of Lex Luthor #2.
Wow.
I have been waiting a year and a half for this book.
Wow.
However, Mark Waid redeemed himself because he touched on my favorite spot in DC Comics, the Legion.
Oh, okay.
And so the premise of this story is Lex Luthor is dying and he realizes he's got one shot to save himself. It's like, so Superman, save me. And he does it very publicly, and just like the public is weighing in, like, should Superman save Lex Luthor after all he's done? And the people are kind of, talking about, is Luthor worth it, basically, to be saved? And Superman, being Superman, is like, well, I'm going to try. He goes, takes Lex to the future. He takes him to Paradise Island, where Diana whips his ass. Takes him to another part of Atlantis, and just different spots in the DC universe. And you get the idea, you get the feeling that Wade is locked in on his Superman lore, because he also introduces Lex to one of Clark's old girlfriends,
Lana Lang.
And he's like, why are we here? And there is a reason for it, but it's just kind of like, so what's going on? And the story takes a big twist at the beginning and the end. You find out they've kind of adapted the story of how Clark and Lex fell apart, but they also come back to another, this person is behind what's going on here. And I'm enjoying it. I recommend it. It's part of the Black Label series. You should be able to get both issues at one time, so you can get 2/3 of the story at least.
Speaking of Black Label issue, I finished the last issue in the Jenny Sparks story arc, and it was really good. Really good stuff. Tom King.
Just real quick, the show that I am recommending this week is on Netflix. It's called Adolescence.
Oh, I'm dying to watch it.
I'm only 2 episodes in. There are only 4 episodes. Now, it is about a teenage murder. But what's also interesting is not only are all of the actors incredible and the story is compelling, each episode is shot in one long take. And
no tricks, no like editing cuts or anything. It is all done in one go.
They actually did it all in one go. There is.
I was hoping it'd be about the punk band.
There is. That would be fun. There is one shot where they leave from a school where the police were questioning some of the kids, fly up over the city with a drone, and then come down to where the murder took place, where the alleged murderer kid's father is placing flowers on the memorial. I mean, it's amazing how they're doing this. But the fact that they're able to do that and have such incredible acting and writing, just amazing.
Cool.
So going,
and
like I said, it's 4 episodes.
That kid that's in it, he's never acted before.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's something to watch and a compelling story. I mean, there's the gimmick of the one-shot thing, but it's a compelling story and an awful lot of modern-day commentary about social media and things like that. So
Nice.
Adolescence is what it's called. And also to take my mind off of what's happening in the world, I've been watching a lot of videos about this little one-armed monkey named Sing Sing, who is he's a little fatty. He and there's an old lady that takes care of him, and he's grumpy and he's picky, but he's adorable. Anyway,
speaking of, Sing Sing is now on Max, so you can watch one of the best movies.
Oh, Sing Sing with an S. This is Sing Sing with an X.
Oh,
Zing
Zing. Yeah. Sing. Anyway, and we will talk about Daredevil in the after party because I also have thoughts. So. Thank you all for being here. We're going to head over to the after party right now. GeekShowGotThisCovered.com is the link. Join us. Live long and prosper, bitches.